He goes by T-REV, so we'll call him that as well, and he joins us now. Thank you very much for coming with your splendid YOLO hat on. You only live once.
I count my blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you.
It just popped in my mind. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it, but I keep hearing about the ID not necessarily being any of the victims and it just popped in my head. Do you think perhaps he, I don't know, sticking up for the ex-roommate? That's why they have the roommate. Maybe they have the ex-roommate's ID. Maybe that's why they seem like when you hear them talking about he has a strong alibi, perhaps they just like some things seem that it might have been her that had done it, but they knew she hadn't done it. So that's how they connected it. It just really popped in my head. I don't know. Let me just sit back and really think about this. But you guys are spot on, and I love your show, and I love you co-hosting with Jeff. This is just the greatest. Thanks.
It's not the victim's ID. She's basically saying it's tied back to somebody at the residence. That's what she was touching up on.
Oh, yeah, because isn't that what Jennifer Koffendorfer was saying, that the IDs were not connected to anybody that lived in the house, was connected to someone connected to the house?
Well, she said specifically word for word that somebody contacted Cuomo's team and said that ID was connected to somebody at, not the victims, but somebody at the residence.
And it's kind of an interesting place to put IDs, is in a glove, especially if the gloves are associated with, when you're going to do something where you don't want to be leaving fingerprints. If they're connected to this kind of nefarious activity. I'm sure everybody thinks, so, are there some kind of rewards for being like breaking into somebody's house and then trying to find their ID and then building up a collection of stolen IDs? I don't know. I'm sure each of those IDs, either they're going to tell a story that there's something to see here or there's nothing to see here.
If you want to leave a voicemail, 219-885-9693, I will play some voicemails back. Here's one right here coming in from, it looks like, Donna.
Hey, Travis, Donna. Hey, look, I'm going to flip the script for a minute on something I've been thinking about, away from the sheath and all that. The other day when you were showing the video of the police going into Kohberger's apartment, and they found something within the locked room. I've been thinking, what if he took photographs of them and printed them out and had them in his apartment? Would that have to show up on the paperwork, or would that be withheld? The way they said, he's going to eat him alive with this or whatever, I was thinking maybe he took pictures to take with him as trophies, souvenirs.
Well, I mean, it sure seems like if he did something like that, it'd be definitely game over. But I guess the question is, would they have to put that in the PCA, I think is what she's asking.
If he took photographs?
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me that like the purpose of the PCA is to show the absolute minimum without showing your full hand, just the absolute minimum to get the process going, to get the arrest, and then just, then to start the process. But I don't know, that seems like if they found that,
game over.
Game over, yeah, that'd be
smoking. I mean, you're talking about a smoking gun at that point.
I mean, what's he gonna say to something like that? Like, say they were planted. Somebody sent me the pictures, or.
She specifically said, I was thinking maybe he took pictures to take with him as trophies, as souvenirs. What more do you need if he had pictures of the murders? I mean,
I think myself that if you think about those research questions, if they did originate from him, and did they reveal a curiosity of what it feels like to do a very heinous crime like this, that was the real goal. I mean, I'm sure they keep trophies because they want to remember it later. But I don't know. He was probably just fine with just having the experience, the whatever rush or adrenaline that was pumping through, fulfilling whatever this thing he was ruminating on for a long time, and just making it become a reality.
Voicemails are coming in now. Let's hear this.
Hey T-REV, it's Melissa. Watching your live right now with you and Jeff, and just wanted to say you always have the best, guests, and you guys are always on point and respectful to the victims' families, and I just wish a lot of other people were. In regards to the link to the ID, whoever it was at the King Road house, what if, not specifically saying whose ID it is, if Bryan had broken into the house one, say maybe they weren't home, or along those lines, because it wasn't like they were there all the time, because there's parties and things going on when they weren't there. And if you remember the body camera footage, they asked, where are the people that live here? I don't know. So maybe he got a hold of someone's IDs or possessions when they weren't home. And I hope that, the DNA sticks. And to answer your question, the latent shoe print was a size 9 in front of Dylan's door, and Bryan wore a size 13 shoe. Much love, Rev Gang, and keep on keeping on. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Melissa. Now, you said the latency was the size 9 in front of Dylan's door. Now, where is the size 9? I want to, if anybody can pull it up to where we know it's a size 9, because I've never seen that in a document, in case I overlook something or it's just not hitting my mind. Jeff, have you ever read the documents and seen size 9 anywhere, or have you just heard it from people?
Yeah, I think I've just heard it from people. I don't know that I remember seeing it in a document. I don't know if she's right about that, then maybe that footprint has nothing to do with
the case.
It could just be a footprint that they found.
I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying I've never seen it in paper that it was size 9, and I would love someone to send it in so we could go over it, because I've heard size 9 and seen it in chat, but I have yet to see it in one document on the document page. That's all I'm saying. If I overlooked it and somebody knows or has it bookmarked somewhere, let me know. I would love to look at it. In that do you think that, Jeff, and this is just a personal question to me to you, because I've thought about this myself. What do you think about the questionnaire that he had put out? Do you think that he used tips from criminals?
Yeah, it sure seems possible, right? It almost seems like, I don't think that those questions are definitely unusual, though. I think I was looking into it, and there might have been some evidence that in this criminology, or in this field of learning, that a questionnaire like this isn't necessarily like unique and out of the ordinary, that it might be something that it does happen. Doesn't it make you think, is it the possibility that, okay, he's been thinking about doing something like this, he's kept it at bay and is not going to do it just to get a taste of it? He would want to meet people that would answer questions like this.
Question, Trev and Jeff, do you think BK stabbing his 4 victims? Thank you for bringing that back up. I've mentioned that plenty of times, and also thought, is it possible that he cut his hand and blood dripped and they have other DNA? I've thought about that. That's played in my mind also. And thank you for the question, Giovanna. We appreciate it. Who said it was a size 9? I still want to see that document where it says size 9 footprint. I just never seen it. I'm not saying that somebody's lying, but I'm just saying in general, I've never once seen that, and I would love to see it. If it's out there, it needs to be seen. It needs to be seen so people can understand that. I've not heard the footprint nor Bryan's shoe size anywhere. Remote desktop to his computer in his parents' home. I message rather than text. 520. You're on the show.
Hey guys, listening to the live, love the show.
Thank you.
The reason why I kept saying Ashland Couch is, as it's been stated, she was the 6th roommate. Her mom owns the house. Ashland got DM into the house. And then we wonder, why was DM in such a state of frozen fear? Well, they keep talking about alcohol, but here's the deal. Ashland Couch and DM and Emma Bailey were all running mates. Everywhere there's pictures of these 3 girls. Now, Emma Bailey is said to be the #1 known, basically, coke dealer for the students at Idaho. Emma Bailey and her boyfriend were involved, and with Caden Young, the University of Idaho frat student who died of a cocaine overdose. They dropped him off at a hospital in Seattle, picked him back up. They were arrested for this in February. This could be part of DM's frozen, her frozen fear. Well, if it's more than just alcohol and it's other drugs, Ashland, DM, and Emma were always together. Emma Bailey's a player in this.
Okay. Thoughts, Jeff? What you think? Emma Bailey dropped off at a hospital in Seattle What is your thoughts on that? Do you think it's relevant? Are they tied to this?
You know, is that the explanation for the 8-hour gap? Is that I don't want to be calling the authorities over here because of connection to Emma, if that's true about Emma. I don't know. At what point do you weigh, like, okay, my involvement with drugs versus my friends are murdered and I should help them? It almost seems like I don't know. I guess it depends on the type of person.
People connected these people, but I haven't seen any true receipts that line up that they were there at the night. I mean, I'm sure, did they get any of their phone pings? I've went through all that. I just haven't seen any receipts to line up with them being involved. And not only that, they were released from jail over some overdose or something I remember looking at it, but it was a while back. And to get back to this footprint, which really the only document that I've seen on it is this one from affidavit page 5 that says, during the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test, then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of the Vans type of shoe sole. Just outside of the door of DM's bedroom, located on the second floor, this is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. With those last leading words, it leads me to believe that they're thinking that's the suspect's footprint. Right. If you notice how they stated it at that last piece, this is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. That wording leads me to believe they think this is the suspect's footprint. Now, was that ever ruled out after the fact? I don't know. But that's what makes me believe they're talking about the suspect's footprint.
He goes by T-REV, so we'll call him that as well. And he joins us now.
People get killed for other stupid choices. Standing up for the families that took a loss is something that we find important. Rap game strong, chest up. Little homie, keep your head up. You can be whatever you want. Get rid of the fake and it will lead up. All my life I strive for greatness. I manifested my time with patience. People try to copy us, but respect is earned. It's not an obligation. I love the fam and they love me back, and that's why I always have the backs. I give a voice to those people who were never given a chance for them slimy cats. When you come here, you ain't a number to me. I really take time to read what I see. Don't forget to lock your doors, cause there's danger all up in these streets. Y'all really put life into the air that I breathe. I really am thankful for all of my peeps. You're loyal